the boxing world, like people only see the end product. People only see the belts, the one night of glory. They don't see the months and months of training. The dirty world that is behind, like, because it's savage. It's so savage. Pro wasn't really an option then. There wasn't really any female boxing in the pro world wasn't really like a thing. So I thought, right, you know what? I'm still young. I'm gonna stay for Rio 2016. Anyway, I done another 4-year cycle, and I call that my abyss phase. It was just absolute hell. I spent the full 4 year I'd win a tournament. I won the Commonwealth, no problem. Next tournament, got beat off someone who couldn't even lace me boots, underperformed. Went to another tournament, got gold. Next tournament again, underperformed, and that was just my whole 4 year cycle. And then I had 3 major operations, 1 shoulder, 2 hands. And then they're putting you out for like 6 months at a time. So I went from being #1 in the world to not even in the top 10. So anyway, I ended up qualifying. I got myself a bronze medal in the world, and it was probably the best performance of the whole 4 year. So anyway, I got my place in Rio. I think I had a prelim round. Boxed in the prelim, got to the quarters, got beat in the quarters again. So I've got 2 4th place certificates from the Olympics. It was all like confidence, it was all pressure. The skill's always been there. I've always been skillful, but it's the whole boxing's 80% mental. And if you don't believe in what you can do, then it's pretty pointless. You can have all the skill in the world. After Rio, I was gonna walk away from the sport. I'd had 2 attempts. I didn't want to do another cycle. I never ever thought about turning pro. So I was going to retire. I thought boxing doesn't make me happy anymore. If anything, I'm just constantly in tears. So yeah, I was going to retire, and then someone who I know, a guy called Sam Jones, had contacted me and went, "Are you Savannah, have you thought about turning pro?" And I was like, "Oh no, I've never given it a thought." He was like, "Well, Mayweather Promotions want to sign you in your debut to be on Mayweather McGregor."
Wait, how did that come about? So they'd seen some of your footage or your fights?
I think they'd seen me in Rio. I don't know if he watched me, but he was there.
So like a recluse, yeah. I know. Growing old on your own. I really asked you about your partners. What's your where's your man? Is he in Hartlepool or partner or?
I don't have one.
How long have you been single?
Good for you to know, Adam.
You're not single, is that what it is? Oh, you are single. So you don't really miss it or need that?
I don't have time.
Really?
And I don't like people.
Stop it. When was your last relationship, serious one? That you could...
Oh, Adam, you can't ask me that.
What?
A bit too personal.
Is it?
Yeah.
What about you, Haz? You got a woman? No.
Athletes only.
Athletes, yeah. Athletes only in the house.
I don't like people either, honestly.
Really?
No, I can't, like... I don't,
You've had a serious relationship, or?
Yeah, but I don't like people either. Like, I hate meeting new people, honestly. Like,
That is mad.
I'm not a fan of it.
You pair, you crack me up.
We think it stems back from my mum, his nana. We were never ever shown affection. But I was never ever shown affection as kids. So me, my sister and my brother, we're not like that. And then, like, in our family, it's kind of, I don't know, if something's wrong or, I don't know, there's something like mental health going on, it's just like,
Just get on with
what's
it.
wrong with you, crack on.
But you know, like...
I
People,
love
like,
finding out this
I
stuff
mean?
about people. I love it.
you know, like April's like proper like touchy-feely in your face.
and
Like I'm the
huggy
complete
and
opposite to that. Do you know, like
we're not like that.
Yeah.
We think it stems back to me mum. My
Yeah.
mum. You know what I mean?
I
We're
find
not-
it really interesting.
And then like I said, April's very like.
So you're one of those people that when you're in bed, you're not touching.
No, I don't know.
But I do find that so interesting, the dynamics in people.
But I never really realised till like years ago. I was sharing a room with April, right, and we were in Barcelona. She was fighting, and she just said to me, "Did your mum and did your mum and dad ever used to hug you when you were a kid?" And I was like, "No, why? Just that trying to not make sense." I was like, "Well, why?" She went, "Because you're just like
Cold,
emotionally
quite cold.
I was like, "Well, I've never really thought about it."
When I think about when you're telling us before when we first met at the house, how your journey and what you've done on your own, this is why I find it so amazing and so fascinating, is that I think I mentioned it to you before, I don't think I could spend that much time away because of my upbringing being different to yours, away from my family because we are so close and are so touchy-feely and lovey and things like that. And doing those things alone, I can't imagine how independent, how brave, how strong-minded you are to go all that way and do all this stuff that you've done. I find it fascinating.
I think everyone in the family's close, but I just think they just show
We're
it in a
not like
different
that.
way.
Yeah.
Just show it in different
What about
ways.
families? Do you guys not want to have your family?
Yeah, I'd love to have a family.
Yeah.
But for instance, there's boxers out there now that I know have like kids and stuff in box, but I'd never put myself in that position because I think boxing's so selfish.
You think
Do you know
that
what
it's
I mean?
hard to be both? You can't do both, basically.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want like my kids sat there at home thinking, "Oh my God, my mum's
worrying about mum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I get it. No, I totally
And then
get it.
it's like, right, I'm going training. It's not like everything, even when you're not in training, everything you're thinking about is your food. What you're going to do now? I'm going for a sleep. It's very selfish, I think.
You have to be almost that single-minded to be the best.
And then even when you are in relationships, it's, "Oh, should we go to the cinema tonight?" No. Well, why not? Well, I've got training early in the morning. "Oh, well, should we go for this nice meal?" No, I can't eat that. I'm making way up. You know what I mean?
No time for it.
And women's like the Lionesses, I believe they're going to meet the real fortunes or the real superstardom is going to miss them, and the next generations are really now going to capitalise on it. So, for example, what we just talked about there, the public, we know women's boxing and women's sport is on the rise, but the reality of the situation. So, people thinking that Savannah Marshall now is going to be earning millions with with your fight with Claressa. Probably the best fight in women's boxing that I've been alive 40 years and I've ever known. But is it life-changing amount of money that you're fighting for, or is it not? It is. So,
But then
the equivalent in the male sport, is it that, or is it hundreds of thousands, or is it millions, or is it tens of thousands? What's the
Well,
actual
then
reality?
it boils down to like, what is life-changing money for you?
Well, the equivalent, let's put it into the equivalent fight in men, it'd be millions, multi-millions. Would we all agree that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then, would we really? Because in her position, if she was a man, she's not as well known as what she would, like, do you know what I'm saying? She's not, when you so if you think about it, if she wasn't fighting me, not even, I'd say 5% of the British public would know who she was.
This is what we're going to me and
Whereas
Luke
like
are trying to discuss.
most people know Deontay Wilder is.
Yeah.
Or Tyson Fury.
Well, yeah, everyone around the world knows Tyson Fury, don't
But
they?
who really knows who? If you were in a boxing anorak, you wouldn't know who she was. I'm quite confident in that.
So this is what I find interesting. So do you think you girls are going to be paving the way for the next generation to be that? Do you think you girls are going to miss it? You girls are just these iconic women now that everyone's going to build off the back of?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do as well.
I don't think it'll happen in my boxing lifetime.
But you've got to be so proud of that at the same time.
But then, no, because people from the outside world think, "Oh, you're boxing, blah, 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 you're headlining the O2. So you think, oh, you're earning millions, but it's only the Joshuas, the Tyson Furies, the Canelos that actually earn that money. So for instance, I don't know if it's true, but I seen a report that Eubank and Ben were only earning six figures.
Wow.
But they did have pay-per-view buys on top, so they would have earned a lot more than six figures, but it was guaranteed six figures. So if it would have been a total flop, they wouldn't have got no more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So
See, so the general public to the reality, it's weird, isn't it?
not
The perceptions.
There's not that much money in the sport, really. I don't think anyway.
Unless you're the best in the men's heavyweight.
Unless you're the Tyson Fury or the Joshuas or the Canelos.
Or the Mayweathers.
The Mayweathers, yeah.
So, that's really interesting. Tell us a bit about you. Have you come from a boxing background, a strength and conditioning background? Tell us a bit about
It's sort of developed over the years. I was originally in the army, so and then I boxed in the army. When I left the army, I went into doing MMA. I love training MMA, doing jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And then I came back. I've always been in the strength and conditioning side of things. I've always prided myself on my fitness and all that type of stuff. So it's just a progression over the years, really. And then Peter asked me a long time ago to help out with Huey and Tyson, and then it progressed from there. Where I used to do it twice a week. We used to do strength and conditioning sessions twice a week on a Tuesday and Thursday evening, and Peter and Huey would travel over to us, and then as it progressed on, we just started doing it full time then, and me and Peter have got a good understanding of each other. Like today, when Peter's not in the gym, Peter knows that he can trust me to do everything that needs to be done with the fighters to the way that he wants it done as well, So, and then when it's away from the boxing side of things, when it's the conditioning side and the fitness side, he knows he can trust me to be here and get the fighters to the peak of their fitness the way they need to be. So we've got a good relationship. Well, as it's coming towards the end of camp, usually by the end of this week, she's where she needs to be. So 2 weeks out from the actual fight is where she's at a peak fitness, peak strength, everything's all come together. But obviously you have to judge on the players themselves, you know what I mean? Sometimes with the likes of Savannah, she's really competitive, she really likes to push herself, so you have to sometimes pull back a little bit, see how she is, and say, well, you've reached your peak a little bit too early, you may need to pull it back a little bit sooner, you know what I mean? So she constantly pushes herself and she's constantly thriving.
We can tell as well you're pushing it.
It's usually hill sprints first this morning, so we'd usually be out on the hills. We've got like a real.
We filmed it.
Especially when there's other people in the gym as well. The competitive side really comes out and actually always pushes herself to be first and beating everybody else. So it's a lot of like working on technical pads really. So it's not so much as fitness pads, but it's technical pads. So working on things where we see Jordan sparring what's not going right, so just brushing up on things that are not going right, just drilling the things over and over again, getting the feet right, getting the hand right, getting the body position right, turning the body in the right way, getting the hips moving in the right way, so just brushing on it, up on everything technical wise. If I see that Savannah's not strong enough on her feet, she may be getting pushed around the ring a little bit, then I know that she needs to work on her strength in certain areas. Jordan around, if she starts getting a little bit weak in the shoulders, then I know that she'll need to build up in certain areas, stuff like that. Jordan, the circuit and the strength work, I can see where she's a little bit weaker and stronger than others. So where she's more strong, on the areas where she's stronger, I can ease off on working on the body parts a little bit and then bring more of the body parts in where she's a little bit weaker, So, but overall, she's great all around. She's really strong, really fit. This has probably been the first camp where she's been niggle and injury free right the way throughout, because with a combat sport you're always going to get your niggles, you're always going to get your injuries, but she's been really well throughout this camp. Being with her day in day out, you do pick up on all these little things all the time. You can see when she's having a little bit of a dip, you can see when she's not fully hydrated, you can see where things are not going as the plan as you'd want them to, So yeah, it's all about just fine tuning, because she's at the top of the tree, she's at the top of the game. So it is just about little minute changes and getting all that fine tuning really.
Pete was telling us
when we do the pad sessions, I've got the body bag on and I'm all the pads, and Peter's sat on the side of the ring watching on, you know, so I feel every punch get them going in, and this is where the boxers get their own back on me on a Tuesday morning, so they get to punch me around everywhere for a couple of hours and get their own back on me. Well, the likes of the changes that from previous fights that have been instilled into Savannah, going into the last fight with Herman's and now into this fight with Claressa, just small changes of how Savannah's coming forward, being that little bit more aggressive, the way she's coming in and working different types of techniques. It's been good and it's been exciting to see, because at first it's new to Savannah, the different things what Peter's tried to instill. So seeing the way she's adapted to it and the way she's developed and the way she's made it into her own style, it's great as well. So it's good. You could see going back a year ago the difference from the way she is now in the way she's developmentally, you know, the way she approaches different things now. She's a bit more outgoing, a bit more, and the confidence has grown massively. You know, from 12 to 18 months ago. So you can see the difference, and you can see how she has gradually progressed and you know, filled them boots of being a world champion. We've got a great team around us here. You know, the other boxers that are in the gym as well. Nobody pulls the punches. If you know, everybody stands and watches the spar, and everybody stands and watches the pad work sessions. And if somebody's not doing something right, they're not going to be, oh yeah, you're great. They're going to be told, yeah, you're crap. There's no yes men that are surrounding anybody. You know, if anybody gets into the ring, if anybody does a workout out here, if they're not performing, they're told straight. You know, there's no pulling the punches at all. So you know, and I think that's the best way to be, because there's no point in, you know, Hartlepool blowing smoke up somebody's ass and saying, oh yeah, you're a world champion, you're great, you're doing everything right, if they're not, because they're going to have a false sense of security. They're going to step into that ring and they're going to get the head punched in really, you know what I mean? So they've got to be told straight, and it doesn't matter whether they're like Michael on the start of his journey, you know, going into his fourth fight, or they're like Savannah fighting for a unification world title. They've all got to be told the same, because you know, everybody's going in there and they're putting a life on the line once you step to the rope. So at the end of the day, they've got to be 100%. They've got to be focused. They've got to be prepared 100%. So
Ready when you are. Do you want us to tell you the time as we're going or not? Or do you want us to show you the clock?
Go on, Savannah. Get in. Bit further, Savannah. Get the shoulders in.
That'll do.
Bit further. Go on, you've got to get the shoulders in.
No, not yet.
Quick you do and get it over with, it's done. You're getting the sickly feeling, ain't you? Get the shoulders in, quick, go on, get the shoulders in, Savannah, go on. Go on, Savannah.
What a barrier you just broke through there. Never done that before. Serious? You've never done that before?
It's because you're all watching.
Pressure.
Showing
Showing off now, girl. Showing off.
That's there.
No, it's 97% boxing based. Wow. The fitness, what you see today, was once a week for say 25 minutes. So when you compare it to the boxing, Savannah's in here with me 2 or 3 hours a day, every day. So this is the difference. So when boxing starts and camp starts, all about boxing. I'm not into lifting weights and doing all of this and getting the fighter tired. You know, I need that full energy box, because ultimately, how are you going to win fights? Are you going to win fights by lifting some weights? Are you going to win fights by being super skilled and having that timing to precision, knowing when to move, everything else? Timing is the key. So without the timing, all this, what good is it? It's needed, and we're out of camp. That's when you do all the strength work and everything else. That's when we say a consummate professional, because they're always in the gym, because they're training, they're building the weight to get strong and everything else. But when camp starts, it becomes like I said, very low. Because it's down to the fighter. Because Claressa does what she does so well, you know, we've got to work to that, you know, and work to whatever else she's going to bring. So that's what the games are for, and that's what the plans are for. And it's not easily executed, because the things I'm working on with Savannah, she's still not there yet, accomplishing them things. But from having 10% or 5% success, now she's at probably 50%. So by the time the fight day comes, she'll have it 100%. What I mean by 100% is no matter what's coming, them drills are there. No matter what's happening, it's second nature. She goes to bed dreaming about it. It happens. I don't know, I've always done my own thing, to be honest. I don't look at anyone. I've always done my own thing. I work out my own thought process with it all. So I do my own thing. I don't look at anything, to be honest. If you set them off on the right track, you know, they're on the right track, aren't they? It's putting them on that track. That's the thing. And giving young people that information and that bit of knowledge, and then they excel with it and they get better and better and better. So it's putting them on the right track in the first place. You've got to know what you're doing, number one. And secondly, caring about the fighter. They're the two ingredients. If you got them, yeah, the rest of it, it'll happen. You know, having that trust there, you know, really wanting them to win, you know, because ultimately, that's why I'm here. I'm not here for myself. I'm a grey-headed old man, and I'm coming in the gym. Yeah, I've got better things to do. So I'm here, plain and simple, because I want them to succeed. And that's that affection you get from the fighter, that bond you've got, it's priceless to me. You can't buy that. That's why I'm in this sport, because these keep me in it. Not because I want to be in it. These keep me in it because of the way they are with me, you see. So the way they are with me, I put it back tenfold, because that's the way my mind works. That's why I can't have ignorance in this gym. I've got to have polite people, because I can't work with them.
I can see it, honestly. There is
nobody's going to give me a pay packet to be what I don't like. If I see something in somebody I don't like, then that's it. I can't work with them. They may be right, I may be wrong, I don't know, but I just got to work with.
Chemistry's got to be right.
It's got to be right for me. Well, I think the best way to look at that is the following. I think it's right what she said. It is right, and it's right what the other athletes do, because one, you look past your opponent, you're disrespecting the opponent. Yeah, you've got to be totally focused on that opponent. I don't need to think past the opponent, because once that happens and she has a good win, the skies open up anyway. So there's not a thought process past that. What's the point of me thinking past that fight, getting 1 or 2% off the ball on that current fight? She has a problem, then where are you going after it anyway? So there's no point in concentrating after the fight, is there? You might as well concentrate on that, because if you don't get past that, you fall back down the ladder, haven't you? You'll see things in this fight that you've not seen in other fights.
Defending WBO Women's Middleweight Champion, Savannah, the Silent Assassin, Marshall! Official weight, 11 stone, 5 pounds, 5 ounces. Introducing the GWOAT, Claressa Shields. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ 5 ounces for the quote. October 15th, the biggest fight in the history of women's boxing for all the belts for the undisputed women's middleweight championship of the world. The silent assassin, the quote, Savannah Marshall, Claressa Shields, live on Sky Sports and ESPN.
Oh, Savannah!
Okay, ladies, you've had your instructions. Remember, obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. God bless. Touch them.
But Shields says she will get inside and show her class. And this is fantastic from Claressa Shields. And Marshall is caught in a storm in this opening round.
Very fast start here from Claressa Shields. Letting both hands go body and head. Big shot from Marshall. Big shot from Savannah Marshall. Right hand from Shields, the professional business. And it's a firecracker. Oh, good uppercut on the
from
inside.
Shields.
Yeah, really good uppercut on the inside there from Shields. And again,
Walking into punches, Marshall, as she has done before. Is there a rematch? Do we have a trilogy? Who gets this? Claressa Shields, so good so early. Has she done enough here? The bell comes, Savannah Marshall and Claressa Shields raise their arms aloft.
At the end of 10 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for the official decision. Judge Gray scores at 96-94, while judges Lombardi and Buscarelli score at 97-93, declaring your winner by unanimous decision and the new undisputed women's middleweight champion of the world, the GOAT, Claressa Shields!
Unanimous by 4, by 4 and by 2, and for all of the effort of Savannah Marshall, it was the class and the speed of Claressa Shields.
One of my friends says that I'm institutionalised. I don't really know any different, but one thing that I think's, kept me in this game for so long is I'll just love it. I love the training, I love competing, I love sparring, I love pads. I love boxing.